What is up guys, Simba here and welcome back to the channel for another league racing video on F1 22. And today, this is our home Grand Prix. It is the British Grand Prix for round 10 of the SLR season. And if you haven't seen the last video, go check out. It was the Canadian Grand Prix, for which the title of that video speaks for itself. And if you haven't seen it, you've been spoilt by the championship standings after that race. We are down to P3. A good 36 points behind Levy King in the Drivers' Championship, and in the Constructors we are 4th behind Ferrari, Aston Martin and Haas. So it's time to respond. Oh! Absolutely nailing it to a T. You couldn't have done it better there. As we go through Maggots and Beckett, absolutely nailing it once again. 6th gear through Chapel. We go a little bit wide, but it doesn't stop us. We are absolutely on it. It's a 3.1 in the middle sector. We are literally a 10.5 up, so we could be in the 26s here by the time we get to the end of the lap. Through Stowe, the heart is going through the roof, but we know we've just got a few corners to go to secure P1 here. Through the Vale Chicane, it's a cleaner run, and I can tell you now, this lap is a 26.9! Let's go! Time to find medals off the session again. I need to invite him back. Kevin. Alright, he's done a .2. Levy, here he goes. Come on. Yes! Ladies and gents, we are on pole position for our home race. We were the only one in the 26s. We got pole by less than a 10.5 to our nearest championship rival, and I could not be happier with that. But our first pole position in SLR, and it finally arrived, and that was a huge confidence boost for me, considering the last 3 races have been pretty tough. But onto the race. We are going to be starting on the medium tyre. There is a chance of rain right at the beginning of the race, and I mean halfway through the race, but it turns out it's going to be raining in about 5 minutes, so we've made the right choice on tyres. Most people around us are on medium tyres as well, so we absolutely nailed the parking, and it is time to go racing. And for the first time, we're on pole. Can we convert it to a race win on home soil? We're going to find out as the lights are out. And we are underway in Silverstone. It isn't the best start. Levy King is literally side by side with us through turn 1. And we just fend him off on the outside line. And we've managed to retain the lead, which was the main priority going into turns 1, 2, 3 and through 4. We are clearly the leading car on this racetrack, as now, yeah, it was a good start. You know, we managed to keep position. We didn't collide with Levy King as well. So as you can see there, Shot Metal has joined back as well. He's had a few connection problems, so he's back in the race and he can go racing. I think there's been a collision at the back as well, but main thing is we are leading this race. We nailed the start down and we're looking to pull away from the rest of the field, but we all know, if you have been watching this series so far on F1 22, Levy King is very quick, so it's going to take quite a lot of effort to shake him off. But as you can see here, through the end of lap 2, we've already set the fastest lap of the race, and we're going to go off and set the fastest lap of the race, a 31.0, and we are nearly 8 tenths clear of the championship leader. So pace is looking really good at the moment. I'm feeling really confident in race pace for the first time in a while. We're going through cops.
Oh, that's a really dumb warning, that. Try and be a bit more careful.
So unfortunately, we've managed to go off and get our first warning of the race on lap 3. And you heard my reaction there saying that it was a very silly warning. Yeah, it's actually easily done to cut cops. I didn't think that was even a possibility, but we're going to have to be careful with the track limits. It is our first warning of the race, and as we go through lap 4, and we make a huge mistake through there, we take way too much curb through turn 3, and on the exit of 4, we lose the rear again. Like, what is going on? It seems like that penalty has completely ruined our rhythm, and now Levy King is right behind us, and we have to use the ERS just to keep a decent margin to him, so he doesn't think about overtaking us down the Wellington Straight. As we go through Luffield, we are still ahead, but look at the gap now. It's not even 0.3 of a second.
Made 2 mistakes there. Got away with it. Try and keep calm. Just unnecessary.
So you can hear me say there, we just need to stay calm and not make too many errors. We feel pretty quick. You know, we just need to make sure we keep it on the track.
Right, it's starting to rain now.
So, lap 5, the rain is starting to fall at Silverstone, and it's good old British weather once again. And it also means that we've made the right choice going on to the medium tyres instead of the hard tyres. So the rain has arrived a lot earlier than the weather forecast predicted. Obviously, it's on approximate, it's not going to be the most accurate source of information from the game, but we've made the right choice going on to the medium tyres, and we're not losing too much time on the hards. So we're going to have to be careful now in these conditions. It's going to be a lot more slippery than it was at the start of the race. As we cut to lap 6, you can see the conditions are getting worse. So that means we'll be going on to the intermediate tyres sooner rather than later, but we are going to box on this very lap. With these conditions and with the crossover period, timing is everything, and we're going to box on lap 6 for intermediate tyres.
Right, we're in. It's already wet. We made a good choice starting on the mediums. We're going to tweak up the front wing a bit.
So you can hear me saying there, we're going to tweak up the front wing on the car, on the setup. We were running 1411 wings before these conditions. We've moved up to 1911 wings now. So, you know, our original front wing setup was a 1310 wings around the dry conditions, but now we've had to move up the wings just for stability on the rear end, but now we're going to have to make sure we have enough front end for these conditions. So here we go, on the intermediates, we're still leading this race, but look at Levy King, he's literally ghosting right behind us. We go through turn 3, we're trying to be cautious, and he's trying to catch us out napping here, down the inside of the turn 3, he takes the lead, and we just absolutely send it back on the inside. There's a little bit of contact between the two of us, but we stay ahead. But for how long? Because Levy King almost caught us napping there through turn 3, and he's looking at passes going into Brookland and Luffield. We again send it on the inside, trying to be defensive. going through Brooklands and through Lovefield. He's trying to go round the outside, and we just about stay ahead. Somehow, we got away with that.
Survived that one. That was close. Sorry, Levy.
And you can hear me apologising to our championship rival. I didn't mean to make contact with him there, as I moved my mic a bit too close to my mouth there, so that's why the audio there was a bit off. But Benz is out of the race, and we've got a safety car on lap 8.
Okay, there's been an incident on track resulting in loose debris. Fortunately, the marshals have managed to clear it up in time, and there are so far no plans for a safety car.
Well, I don't know what Mark Priestley's on about. There's clearly a safety car, and this is going to bunch up the field.
Don't get carried away with the weaving. Yeah, I know. I'm just trying to warm my tyres, but it's so nerve-wracking because I don't want to spin.
So, we skip to lap 10, the end of the safety car period. You can hear me talking to my chat on Twitch, saying that I'm trying to warm up the tyres. Be careful with the weaving. I'm just trying to say, you know, we're just trying to be careful with warming up the tyres, because the tyres are still pretty cold, but we have to get going again, and we are racing again. In Silverstone, we're in the lead. Levy King is second. I think Karen and Quattro are fighting for P3, so we've immediately opened up a 1.7 second lead to the rest of the field, and it's going to be a 2-horse race between me and Levy King. But the main thing is, we just keep it on the road. We've only got one warning. We haven't got another warning since, and we've led every single lap of this race so far. So a good restart. We stay ahead of the Aston Martin as we come to the end of lap 11. We're just trying to build some confidence in these conditions as we cross the line. It's a 41.4, and I think we'll be going a little bit quicker than that. But we get a strategy option from the game to pit on lap 16, I can tell you now. So the game thinks we're doing a 2-stop race, but if you do that, then, you know, it's absolutely curtains for you, because you'll be ending up a pit stop behind everybody else. And with Silverstone being the slowest pit lane of the season, you don't want to do that.
Confirmed.
And you can see that I'm clearly saying that we're sticking to a 1-stop race. We're just looking to stay out before the for as long as we can, before the track dries up. As you can see, we got a little bit wide through Brooklands, but we just about stay ahead of Levy King, who's constantly knocking on the door for an overtaking opportunity. But we're just being able to keep it on the island and stay ahead of our championship rival. We can see we've got a lot of battery to use as well, just in case. And we were looking pretty quick in a straight line thanks to the lower wing setup. But lap 13, a big moment in this race.
That's a big one. Quattro out.
And you can simply hear me say there, that's a big one. Quattro out of the race. And that means that if, you know, we just need to score at least P6 in this race, and we'll overtake him in the championship once again as we drift through the final corner there, making sure we're not hitting that curb through the final corner. But since we've already got the fastest lap, we'll definitely be guaranteed to have that since it's wet conditions, as the pace is improving. As again we get offered that pit stop on lap 16, which makes no sense. But yeah, this is just the game being really silly, because we're just trying to stay out before it dries up, as Barlow is out of the race as well. So we're down to 10 men. It means everyone will score points in this race, but the main thing is we're just trying to stay ahead. As the laps keep ticking down, we move on to lap 17. 10 laps to go in this British Grand Prix. We've led every single lap, but the gap between the top 5 is 2.8 seconds, so we have to stay on our toes as we ask about the weather.
The rain's easing off a bit, but the track is still going to be wet for a while. Be careful. Inters look like the best tyre for now.
Now, we've just asked Mark Priestley about the weather, and unfortunately, it's still going to be wet conditions for quite some time, so we're going to basically have to get to the end on these tyres and hope for the best, really. It's going to be one of survival.
Tyres are okay-ish. We need to keep managing them.
So you briefly saw there the tyre wear is looking okay-ish at this stage of the race. We've been on these tyres since lap 6, and they're 32% on the front and 28% on the rear. So they're okay, but we just need to make sure we keep monitoring them and making sure we get to the end of this race, because we've been leading every lap so far. It would be awful if we lost the race win on a puncture on the last lap, as we crossed the line again on lap 18. We do a 40.6, and we are still leading the way here against Levy King. And Kevin is P3, Evo is P4, Evoke is P5. So we're just keeping it on the island, and that's exactly what we need to be doing at this stage of the Grand Prix. Also, earlier on in lap 21, I almost got my second warning. So we are playing a little bit of fire with track limits. And speaking of track limits, we get our second warning.
Second warning. You've got to be careful. On a tightrope now. One more and that's it.
Well, we were doing pretty well. We held on from lap 3 to 21, but unfortunately we've got our second warning of the race, and you can hear me say one more and that's it. You know, adios race win. We'll drop down at least 3-4 places if we do not manage to keep within track limits for the next few laps, as we skip again to lap 24. We've just been leading this race. You know, it might look easy right now, I can tell you, but it's not.
Right, we're going to hit 60, guys. We will make it to the end of the race.
And you can hear me say there, the tyres will hit 60% by the time we get to the end of this race, but I'm confident we'll get to the end of the Grand Prix. We just need to hang on for one more lap. The tyre indicator is at orange, but we're going to see if we can keep pushing and try and build a little bit more of a gap on this final lap of the British Grand Prix. We've been leading every single lap of this race, and we're on course to take our second win of the season. We just want to push a little bit harder on this last lap. Also, someone that is also doing the same thing as us is Levy King. You can see the last few laps we've been keeping a gap at least 0.6, 0.7 of a second, but now he's really going for it on this last lap of this race. The tyres are at 64% on the front, so we're close to 70%, but we're just trying to hang on here. Levy King is really putting us under pressure on this last lap, as he gets a really good run at the exit of Lovefield, and we're just trying to stay ahead. And you can see the arrow moving over to the left. He's trying to go round outside at Cops. There's no way he's going to be pulling that off, but he almost does, to be fair to him. We both get through Cops in the rain. Take notes from last year. So we've managed to hold on and stay in the lead of this race. We've just got one sector to go.
We got really close. Come on.
And you can hear me breathe a sigh of relief as we fend off Levy King through the middle sector. And we've just got Stowe and the Vale chicane. And then we'll take our second win of the season. The heartbeat is going through the roof once again as we go through Vale. We took pole. We took the fastest lap. We have led every lap. We've fended off Levy King. And we're going to win our home Grand Prix.
Yes, let's go! Come on! Yes! That was close. That was really close. Led every lap. Come on!
Pole position, fastest lap, led every lap, and the race win here at Silverstone. Absolute perfection of a perfect weekend. Absolute perfection from start to finish. We held off a lot of pressure on those intermediate tyres, and we take our second win of the season, and I think it's well deserved. And we lift the trophy at our home race, a race where we qualified 17th last season. This time we've had the perfect weekend, and this was a huge relief after the last 3 races. I'm so glad to get that race win, and the way that we did it as well, with a fantastic weekend, a great performance, my best performance of the season by far. And there you go, 4 race results. We finish P1 at Silverstone, and we are back in the championship fight as well. We are 28 points behind Levy King in the Drivers' Championship. We're ahead of Quattro, and in the Constructors, we move up into P3. So that, guys, is going to be the end of today's video. Be sure to hit the like button, subscribe for more content, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Till then, take care, and I'll see you later.